What's going on, everybody, and welcome to J Sports Seattle. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Seahawks. Just going to be doing like a off-season check-in. We're kind of halfway through the season, off-season. See, it's about to be June. Got about 3 months left until the first day starts, and 3 months ago was the Super Bowl. So yeah, we're kind of in that halfway point in the off-season right now. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about where we're standing at in the offseason. I'm gonna kind of go over like a way too early schedule prediction, and I did this last year, and I'll make another one later on as we get closer to the season. But yeah, I'm just gonna talk about that, just some other stuff going on with the Seahawks. So if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. And without further ado, let's get on with the video. All right, so yeah, last time I made a Seahawks video was a while ago. I think it was like a month ago after the draft. So here I am. The schedule was released already a couple weeks ago, so I didn't get a chance to get on that because I was dealing with graduation stuff and getting my new job. But overall, the schedule looks. I mean, we have a pretty easy schedule compared. I mean, San Francisco has the easiest schedule in the league by far, but we have I think we're like in the 20s in terms of strength of schedule. So the Giants have the hardest schedule for whatever reason. But, yeah, I mean, we start off week one against a division opponent against the Niners. And a couple of years ago, we did the same thing against the Rams. They got absolutely smoked in our own house. Hopefully this thing is a little different. I do think that this game right here, this is kind of like a defining game for how. I mean, obviously, you can't really judge too much off of week one because it's week one. It's 1 week. You got 17 more games to go, or 16 more games to go. So, really not much you can base off, but like beating your division rival who has kind of wiped the floor with you the past couple of seasons, to win against them to start the season, especially since you don't face them until all the way until week 18, especially since you don't face them until then, that would be massive for both sides because it's a division game starting off the bat. So, I do think that we will surprise San Francisco. Because they've beaten us in our house for the past 2-3 years straight. So that would be a huge statement win for us, and would shut a lot of Niners fans up. Which I would really hope we win this game because I hate the Niners as just as much as you guys. Right now I hate the Rams more because the Rams have kind of been the more relevant team. I mean, to be fair, the Niners were in the Super Bowl a few years ago, but the Rams were the one that actually got it done. In 2021. The Niners haven't gotten it done. And the Rams have kind of been owning us, especially with subpar teams. So, but I digress. If we win this game, that is a huge tone setter for this team. Because we've always been, these guys have a chip on their shoulder because they've been getting, like I said, we've been getting beat by the Niners. Yes, we won against the Niners last year, but to be fair, they were completely nuked injury-wise. Defense did well, but offense we had to rely on a miraculous Geno Smith game-winning touchdown drive to win that game. And that was after Nick Bosa went out. So this would be huge. So I do think we could win this game and 1-0. At Pittsburgh, here's the thing. They're a decent regular season team. When it comes to the playoffs, you all know they shrivel. They haven't been past the second round since I think the year they went to the Super Bowl, and won it, or the Super Bowl against the Packers. So I'm not. But the thing is, like in the regular season, like I said, they can perform. They can pick and choose, I guess. I do think that we're not going to let DK have his way, and because he was on our team, so we know how to face against him. So I do think that we will be able to pull out this win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just think that, like I said, everybody on this team has a chip on their shoulder. The Steelers, I don't know what they're doing over there, to be honest. The team doesn't really. They're trying to force something that doesn't exist. So I just think that we will win that game as well, 2-0. I do think that we will win against the New Orleans Saints. They are kind of in the middle of a rebuild. They don't really know what their quarterback situation is looking like. So I do think we will win against the Saints, especially at home. Although the Saints have kind of had our number, we haven't won against the Saints since I believe, was it that playoff game? No. It can't have been since 2013. I'm actually curious because if that's the case, that's actually huge. Seahawks versus Saints record. Wow. Yeah, we have not beaten the Saints since that 2013 divisional round game. We're due for a win against these guys, and so I do think we will beat these guys, especially since we're at home. 2020 or for week 4 against Arizona. I mean, we've owned these guys for the past. I'll be going to this game because I mean, tickets as low as $50, and it's on prime time. I'm there. So, assuming that I'm not needed for my job, I am there. So, I probably will be. So I may miss this game, but I will probably be watching the game regardless. I do think this game we will win because, like I said, we've had Kyler Murray's number pretty much ever since he entered the league. So I don't think that's going to change in the span of 1 year. So I do think we beat these guys and go 4-0. Tampa Bay, week 5 at home. I do think we take this L against Tampa Bay. They are a great team. Baker Mayfield's a baller. They added Egbuka from Ohio State. He's kind of going to be like their JSN in a sense. Like they have a great team. Like I said, Baker Mayfield is a baller. I in my opinion, I believe he's a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. Just because he has won playoff games. Yes, they were first round exit last year, but he's won a playoff game. He won a playoff game for them, and he won a playoff game for 2 different franchises. So, and he's won a division for like 3 straight years. Albeit it's a crappy division, but someone still has to win it. So, I do think but we will take this L against Tampa Bay. So we would be 4-1 on the season. Jacksonville, they're a dumpster fire right now. So, I know they got Travis Hunter, but I don't think he's going to be the saving grace for them in 2025. So I do think we win and we go 5-1. Against Houston, this is an interesting matchup because this is actually a very interesting matchup because it's between 2 defensive masterminds. DeMeco Ryans is an amazing defensive coordinator. He's a great coach too. He knows how to get his teammates he knows how to get his players up and running. He has great discipline, just like Mike. So this is an interesting game. I'm not one to do this, and I can't do it. I just don't think it'll happen. But I was thinking this could result in a tie. I really think it could, just because there's 2 teams. I understand that. C.J. Stroud's a better quarterback than. Well, I mean, last year was he? I mean, but overall, C.J. Stroud is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. He's won a playoff game in each of his first 2 seasons. So that alone should tell you how good of a quarterback he is. Albeit he has a really good defense. He has a pretty good receiving core, albeit they got nuked last year. We have a pretty good receiver core. We have a good running back. We have an pretty good running back core. Our defense is getting up there. We have a good D-line. Our secondary is getting better. But that's what I'm saying. Like both teams have great stuff on both sides of the ball. But you know what? If I really had to choose a winner in this one, I do think Houston might pull this one off because Houston, they're good. They're not. This is not the same Houston Texans we have seen over the past, from 2020 and to 2020 to 2023. This isn't the same Houston Texans. These guys can ball now. So I'm not gonna say that just because they're the Texans we're gonna lose. No, they got a good roster, and I would assume that this is assuming everyone's gonna be healthy on both sides. I do think we will lose, so we'll go 5-2. So then next week we have a bye week in week 8, which I think is perfectly placed. Thank you NFL. And then week 9 we go into Washington all the way across the coast, and we got and this is on Sunday Night Football. So we got for back-to-back years you get a Sunday night game. I ain't complaining. I like that. Also that going back to that Houston game, that's a 7:00 start, which is which will be the latest start in Seahawks franchise history. I mean, but what kind of sucks is it's going to be kind of out of market because it's only on ESPN Plus, which kind of rubs me weird. But we get that bye week, and then after that we have Sunday Night Football against the Washington Commanders, and these guys just had an insane season. If you want to call it an insanity run, Sure, but we can't prove that until until they show it actually wasn't an insanity run. They went 12-5. They went into the playoffs. They went and beat the Bucks in their own house. They went and absolutely slaughtered all over the Lions defense in Detroit, albeit the Lions defense was completely nuked with injuries. I mean, they were missing the likely defensive player of the year, assuming he didn't get hurt. They did win, and they put up a lot of points against them. I don't remember the final score of that one, but they put up a lot of points. And then they went and they got smacked by the eventual Super Bowl champions. Okay, sure. But the thing is they beat those teams. And they show that they're not a team to be messed with. So, and JD Daniels is going to be an MVP one day, 100%. You saw the way he played last year. The O-line was better than it was last year. The defense still could be improved, but that offense was electric, and that was because of Jaden Daniels. So, I do think we lose this game. I do think we'll go and take this L. So we'll go 5-3 on the year. But then we'll follow it up. We have Arizona coming to Seattle, and like I said, I just don't see any reason why. Just based off of the past several years of us facing Kyler Murray, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't lose against them. And that's not me being cocky. I'm just basing it off of the past several seasons. I mean, do I need to bring up here, Cardinals versus Seahawks? Let's do record since 2018, since he came into the league. And I hope StatViews will. Actually, I could just do it like this. So, I mean, we've beaten them 7 straight times. 7 straight. Since 2018. Since 2018 season. 1, 2, so that was 1, 2, and 2, 3. So 2 and 2, 3 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 3, 5 and 3, 6 and 3, 7 and 3, 8 and 3, 9 and 3, 10 and 3. 10 and 3 since 2018. So we have these guys' number, and this is ever since Kyler Murray came into Seattle. I mean, if you look beforehand, we have a pretty good track record of beating these guys, but you see that we would take L's once a year. We haven't taken an L against these guys since 2021. It's been 4 years per the calendar date, or not 4 years per calendar date. It's probably like 3.5. But they haven't beaten us in 2.5 seasons. If you want to base it off us. They haven't beaten us in 3.5 seasons. Sorry. If you want to base it off we face them 2 times a year, 3.5 seasons they have not been able to beat us. So I just don't see any reason why we'll drop one. I mean, obviously you never know. It's any given Sunday, but I do think we win this game and we go 6-3. And then then week 11 we face the Los Angeles Rams in LA. And it's Matthew Stafford. They got Devontae Adams now. Puka Nakua's still there. They cut Cooper Kupp, which we have now. So this is going to be an interesting game, basically. Their defense is pretty good. Their offense is still pretty good. So it's just all up to us and our offense. Mainly up to our offense. I think our defense will be pretty good this year. It'll be up to our offense to set the tone against this Rams team. Since, Sean McVay is an offensive guru, the way to beat him is to out-offense him. If you look at the games that he's had coached against Mike Macdonald, they have not really gone well for Mike Macdonald. I mean, yes. So, for example, take a look in 2023, when the Rams faced the Ravens. The Ravens looked pretty invincible that year in terms of that defense. Sean McVay was the only one to break through and put up a decent damage. I mean, the Ravens won 38-31. It took a shootout to win that game. So I feel like Sean McVay could be his kryptonite. I mean, to be fair, like the first game, that was the Geno suffering game right there. Lorgino just absolutely threw away the game and gave the game away in two separate occasions when the defense held Matthew Stafford and company to I think it was 16 points at one point. So I don't know. But the thing is the final game of the season, he allowed 25, almost allowed a Jimmy Garoppolo-led comeback, and that's what they had. They were resting all their starters basically, and we had all our starters in. So it's going to be up to the offense. I feel like. I mean, if Mike McDonald's defense comes out here and absolutely goes guns a-blazing, all right, sure. I'm sure they will. Like I said, the defense will improve this year. I feel like I think it'll be better than it was last year. I think we were 11th in scoring, so I do think we will be top 10 in scoring this year, and along with other factors. And I do think that, as long as, Sam Darnold and company have settled in and are doing their job and we have a good offense, I don't see any reason why we don't win this game. So I do think we could win this game, and we'll go 7-3 on the year. So after 5-3, losing to Houston, losing to Washington, we'll go on a little run here. Because then we got to face Tennessee, who are going to be starting Cam Ward. Cam Ward has already been confirmed to be the starter. I think we're gonna beat them just because they're in a rebuild. We're kind of in that win now mode. They're trying to figure stuff out. Cam Ward could show us he is next, or he could show that he's a bust. Not a bust, but like he needs more time to develop, I should say. So I do think we win that game and we go 8-3 in the year. So we'll go on a little streak. We're gonna face Minnesota, so they have J.J. McCarthy, and he's probably gonna be the starter for the team. Assuming. Barring anything else happening, like an injury or, for some reason one of the other quarterbacks absolutely goes ballistic in training camp. This game, I do think we will lose because of the fact that they literally had Sam Darnold on the year before. I just think they're going to know how to play against him. They know that he does not do well under pressure. They have a good D-line. Their defense was pretty good last year. I know they collapsed the final 2 years of the season, but they're a pretty solid defense. Their offense was amazing. I do think it'll be a little bit different because J.J. McCarthy has no NFL experience. But I do think that with that talent around them, I do think they will do well. They're not going to. No, there is absolutely no way they'll win the amount of games they did last year. Absolutely no way they're going to be winning 14 games again. They could win 10, 11, 10 to. I think their range is somewhere between 10 and 12. But no, they're not winning 14. But I do think they will beat us, and we'll then at that point we'll be at 8-4 heading into Week 14. And then heading into Week 14, we will be facing Atlanta again. We already saw what happened when we went into Atlanta last year. We steamrolled them. I do think we will do the same. Well, not necessarily steamroll them, but I do think we'll win the game. So then we'll go 9-4 in the year. Then we got to go to Indianapolis, who they're kind of figuring out their quarterback situation right now. So, I mean, who is their quarterback, actually? Isn't it Daniel? No, not Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is, isn't he? Here, you know what? I'm going to do what I set out to do. Find the Colts quarterback. Colts QB. Oops. Yeah, Daniel Jones and Riley Leonard. I do Riley Leonard that has some upside. And they got Anthony Richardson. But Daniel Jones, man. Like, I mean, to be fair, Daniel Jones put the hurt on us last year. For whatever reason. I don't know why we lost that game. That was the game we should not have lost. That was the one game right there I blame on I just blame the team as a whole. Like, that game was just bad on both sides. After the opening drive, touchdown return, fumble return, we kind of just let off the gas. But I do think, assuming that Daniel Jones starts again, I just don't think he's going to replicate that success. I think he just got lucky. Like I said, it's any given Sunday. So I do think we beat these guys and we go 10-4 in the year. And then we face LA, primetime Thursday night football at home. We're not gonna sweep the Rams. That's just not gonna happen. They're a good team. So I do think they come into Seattle in our own house, and they come and whatever. It doesn't matter what record they are at that point. I do think they come in our house and beat us. I mean, it's a division game. Like I said, the Rams are no joke. They've had our number the past few seasons. I just don't see any reason why we will sweep them this year. So I do think we will take that L week 16, and we'll go 10-5 in the year. And then we got to face Carolina. Now, here's the thing about Carolina. Carolina has shown a little bit of improvement towards the end of the season, thanks to Bryce Young kind of showing up a bit, and that's under Dave Canales' leadership and head coaching. But I just don't think they're talent-wise. I just think we're more talented than them. Their disparities pretty big, in my opinion, compared from us to them. Although, like I said, we don't know. But I do think we will win this game, and we will we'll be 11-5 on the season. And then Week 18 against San Francisco. Both of these are flex games, by the way, so we don't know what those will look like. But assuming that this is just a normal game and not a primetime game, I mean, it doesn't matter. We're not going to sweep San Francisco. That's a pipe dream. We will go into San Francisco. We will take the L in Week 18. It'll probably either be them or the Rams that win the division. But we will finish this season 11-6, which is 1 win better than last year and 2 wins better than under Pete Carroll. That should be good enough for a wild card spot. Now, unless there's some crazy crap going on like the Matt Castle year back in 2008 where they went 11-5 and missed the playoffs, unless some crazy stuff like that happens, we should be good for a playoff appearance. So 11-6 is my initial. It is my initial prediction. I will obviously make another prediction going on later into the season. It could remain the same, or it will change. Last season, I predicted my initial prediction. I had us going 7-10. But then a couple weeks before the season started, I reviewed it, and I got it on the dot, 10-7. I mean, obviously, not all games happen the same way, but I got the record right. So, hey, hopefully maybe I'll go 2 for 2 this year. We'll see what happens. I'll be making another one on that. But yeah, 11-6. I do think that's a good year for Mike Macdonald. So I don't really see any problem with 11-6 wild card playoff team. So yeah, that's fine. Then we faced the Raiders, who we just traded Geno Smith to, and the Chiefs in preseason. And we got to face the Green Bay again in Lambeau again. I think this is the third straight. No, this is like the second time in 3 years we've gone into Lambeau for preseason. But yeah, that's my record prediction. 11-6, good from probably maybe the 5th or 6th seed in the NFC. I mean, depending on how good or bad the division is, it could be good for winning the division too. But assuming that this is a stacked division, 11-6, 5th or 6th seed. So yeah. So let's move past the prediction since we got that out of the way. Encouraging developments are already coming from Seahawks OTAs. We just had our first wave, 27th or 28th through the 30th, so I think it was Wednesday through Friday. And obviously, we don't really know too much information because the media weren't allowed onto the field. But apparently, this has nothing to do with any impressive plays on the field, but it pertains to mainly health, which I'm happy to talk about as well. If it's good health, that's awesome. Hey, we do get some stuff from the Seahawks. The Seahawks media don't keep us completely in the dry, at least, which is good. So, like, for example, we got Darnold. We got a little example of just Darnold to Barner. Good strike. I mean, obviously he's not pressured, but this is a great throw. You got to see True Lock over there on the left. That's just a great throw. I mean, good. And then him to JSN. I like this. You're a little high, but that's okay. Sometimes you want to throw upstairs to your receivers. But, I mean, hey, it looks good. Everybody's there. Everyone's accounted for. At least OTAs-wise. He apparently got Torrey Horton, our 5th-round wide receiver, who I do think could potentially be wide receiver 3. It could replace Jake Bobo, potentially be wide receiver 3 at some point, overtake MVS. Apparently, he's gotten his first looks in practice, some running routes today at first OTA practice. This was the first OTA practice, so who knows if he continued in the second or third one. So 5th-round rookie wide receiver Torrey Horton suffered a season-ending knee injury last year, which most likely dropped his draft stock by at least a full round. At the first OTA practice, Horton appeared to be participating in drills, which is a major upgrade from rookie minicamp in terms of on-field participation. So obviously we don't have any video, but the team issued photos. We can't use them, full disclosure. Should suffice as evidence that Horton has been getting some work in on the practice field. That's not going to be the case for Notre Dame rookie and fellow 5th-rounder Riley Mills, whose January ACL tear in the college football playoffs makes it unlikely he'll be playing until later in the season. We got Riley Mills in the sense that he's going to be good for us 2020, later on 2025, if we could use the extra bump, and beyond, of course. So another thing I want to point out, Abe Lucas. This man has been I applaud this man. Obviously, we got to see how he does, when he plays this year, this season. But I gotta applaud this man's work ethic, man. This dude has been battling knee injury after knee injury after knee injury, and he's not giving up. He's losing weight. He's getting stronger. He's down to 320, according to Michael Sean Dugar. He's down to 325 pounds, which he was 335, 340. So this is huge for Abe Lucas. This means he'll be quicker, he'll be stronger while being quicker. This is a massive thing for Abe Lucas here, and could definitely help his case for potentially getting a contract extension for us if he has a great season in 2025. So this is great to see. So yeah, there's really not much stuff going on like plays or anything or performance, but just seeing health and seeing people be better and healthier so far. This is just great. I cannot wait until we see Darnold to Cup, Darnold to JSN, Darnold to Arroyo. I cannot wait to see those guys. Darnold to Horton. I do think we'll be able to get to see some of that, but it's like next week, and I hope we do. And this is great. This is really, really great. But speaking of Arroyo, which is also, I also have to talk about Emin as well. They are the only draft picks we don't have that are not signed. We have signed every other draft pick. Gray Zabel was, I believe, the first draft pick, and he was our first round pick. He was our first draft pick to be signed, I believe, or at least one of the first, if not the first. And that shows who he is as a person. Yes, he wants his money, but he just wants to get to work, and he wants to go do his job. I'm not saying that's not what Nick Emmanwori and Elijah Roy are doing. Take a look at the league. This was as of May 27th. So 32nd round picks remain unsigned after top two got fully guaranteed contracts. Obviously, this could have changed in the past 4 days because this was as of 4 days ago, as of the making of this video. But keep in mind, 4 days ago, that's a full month after the NFL draft. And there are still basically an entire round's worth of people that have not signed their contracts. That's because of two teams, the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans. So, on May 8th, the Texans gave Jaden Higgins the second pick of the second round of this year's draft, the first fully guaranteed contract ever for a second round pick. And before that point, let's keep in mind, the NFL has been around for over 100 years. Not a single point at that time did a second round pick get a fully guaranteed contract until the Texans did it. And then literally the day after, the first pick of the second round, Carson Schlesinger, also received a fully guaranteed contract. That's not good for the rest of the league. And I'm not really a fan of the Texans and the Browns kind of just letting their players. I understand they were probably good. I didn't really keep a track of them in college. Mainly more of the notable people like Cam Ward and Milroe and obviously since I went to ASU, Scatabo, and obviously like Ashton Genty, stuff like that. But come on, man, you can't let players just completely bully you like that, because then the rest of this league has to go and then all the other players think they can do that to their teams, and that's exactly what's been happening, because not a single second round pick has been signed since those 2 second round picks have been signed. So I don't know what the Browns and Texans are doing, really, to be honest. And I'm not taking it away. I'm not saying that all these second round picks are selfish and only looking out for themselves. I mean, they have to, though, because it's a business. So I understand them looking out for themselves. But come on, man. You're a second round pick. You are a second round pick. I understand that's still a premium pick, but you weren't the top 32 guys. You weren't 32 the people that thought that deserved a shot first. And I just don't think that's fair to the entirety of the league to have just these top 2 picks get the fully guaranteed contract, because now we are left to wring out to dry, because Nick Emmanwori is the 3rd pick in the second round, and he's probably going to get a guaranteed contract. The money is already set. The contracts for round selections are already set in stone. It's about the guaranteed money. That's what really about. That's why we had that. That's why we had that issue. Not really issue, but Devin Witherspoon held out for basically up until the season almost, because it was about that guaranteed money. But you can't, because the thing is, if you let this happen, and then all second round, and then it gets to a point where all second round picks get fully guaranteed contracts. Oh crap! It's only a matter of time before third round picks think they should start getting their fair share too, and that's just gonna start ramping up, and that's just gonna start inflating the salary cap even more, and that's just not fair. That's not fair to the teams. So I don't know what the Texans and the Browns are doing here, to be honest. I understand Costner, Schlesinger, and Jaden Higgins. I do know Jaden Higgins. I think he went to LSU, if I was not mistaken. You know what? I'm gonna fact check myself on that. I could be wrong. I think I am wrong. Oh no, he went to Iowa State. So why did I think LSU? Eastern Kentucky and Iowa State. I understand. Oh yeah, that's right. Because I mean, we literally faced him in the ASU faced him in the Big 12 championship. But I understand that he was really good on Iowa State, but second round. There's a reason why he went to the second round. He was not better than 32 people in the first. So why would you need to feel like you need to give him a guaranteed contract? It's because you think that makes me think that both. I mean, obviously teams will think this every single year, that there will be second round picks that they believe that should have gone in the first round. But if you truly believe that, with your pick, you would have gone and got that guy. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Obviously, a lot of teams will do best player available, and there's only 32, picks in the first round, unless for a team, unless you got multiple picks. But like I said, this is unfair to not just the league, but also to the second rounders as well. And then further on. Because now you're kind of putting them in the position to where they have to negotiate a fully contract, especially like Nick and Emanwari, because they're pressured to do it because the first two did it. So I don't agree with that, and obviously this is going on in the league as a whole. Like I said, as of May 27th, there were 32nd round picks that remained unsigned. So clearly, the Browns and the Texans doing this had a cataclysmic effect on the ability to get second-round picks signed for all the remaining teams. So, yeah. That's kind of like my little rant on that. But, yeah, I don't know what will happen. I do think it'll be they'll get it signed before training camp, so I'm not worried about that. But I wouldn't be surprised if they haven't been showing up to OTAs since they are voluntary. But this was just not a good look on. Not a good decision, in my opinion, on the Texans and on the Browns' part. But if it pays out for them, hey, I'll eat my words and I'll stand corrected. So, yeah. That's what's been going on with the Seahawks, and I'm excited to see the media from next week to be able to be allowed on the field and get to see what's going on, and I'm ready. I'm ready for we're halfway through this off season. I'm just waiting patiently for week 1. So yeah. But I think that's all I have for this video. This is a very, very long video, I'm pretty sure, because I haven't made a Seahawks video in a minute, and there was just a bit to talk about, especially since I was doing a kind of like an initial schedule prediction. So yeah, I just wanted to go through all that. I'll probably be making a video next week, just going over OTAs and stuff and previewing OTAs, and then I'll definitely be making some videos as mandatory camp comes around. So so stay tuned for those. If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good day, and go Hawks, go Mariners, and go Kraken.